It's been just over a year since the Vive Cosmos was released, and it was plagued with bad reviews and tracking issues at launch. Let's see if it's got any better. Okay, so the HTC Vive Cosmos. This is an inside-out tracking VR headset with some very unique looking controllers with a very funky Aztec style lighting pattern on it that it makes use of for tracking. It's got no less than 6 cameras. That's 2 more than the Oculus Quest and Quest 2 and 1 more than the Rift S. It's got a combined screen resolution of 2880 by 1700. That's a nose more than the Valve Index. And it also includes a 2-month subscription to Viveport, which is HTC's subscription-based, all-you-can-consume VR game service. It doesn't have absolutely every title on there, but it does have a nice selection. I've tested this headset for just over 2 weeks and well into double digits of hours of testing. I've played games like Elite Dangerous, Half-Life Alyx, Arizona Sunshine, Beat Saber, etc. So, starting with what I like about this headset, the display is actually very good. It's got much better contrast, frankly, than the Index. The colours pop and are vibrant, and it's opted for a slightly smaller field of view than some of its competitors, but this means the pixel density is much tighter. That has, for all effects and purposes, completely eradicated the screen door effect. It's only 90 Hz, but this is more than enough for a smooth experience, and in Elite Dangerous in particular, the visuals were noticeably better than the Valve Index. That tighter pixel density has sorted out any aliasing, jaggy type problems that you often see on the cockpit. The flip-up facility on the headset was actually way more useful than I anticipated. It's really helpful if you want to grab a drink, have a conversation with somebody, or if you're playing a complex game like Elite Dangerous, where you are reading endless guides and third-party tools. The headset and the controllers are well made, and I personally quite like the chunkiness of the controllers and the funky Aztec design. The first game I played was Beat Saber, and actually I have to say the experience was pretty good. So HTC have definitely gone some way to correcting the tracking problems. I was able actually to finish entire levels with a full set of combo and get good scores, and it never felt like the tracking was a particular problem. The Halo style headband is comfortable enough. It's got pretty good quality foam interface material on the headset, and it does actually a very good job of blocking light from underneath, much better actually than any of the other headsets that I've used. However, the actual material over the foam is quite coarse, and the headset feels quite front heavy. They haven't got the balance quite right, and after relatively extended play sessions, and I'm talking kind of 3 hours and onwards, I did feel quite a bit of pressure on the front of my forehead. Now, to be fair, I had a double blessing of forehead, but there are plenty of other people who've reported this problem too. I found the headset setup pretty acceptable and relatively straightforward. However, the Cosmos does use some funky Steam VR plugins that did seem, for some reason, to cause some blue screens of death. Quick read on the forums, it looks like that might be related to Ryzen CPUs in particular. Some odd things threw me, like the grip triggers on the controllers aren't analog, but to be fair, that was something that I adjusted to fairly quickly. Beat Saber was, as I say, acceptable from a tracking perspective, and generally that was my experience. However, in shooters like Half-Life Alyx or Arizona Sunshine, where you're holding the controller directly in front of the headset, it was quite difficult to aim down the sights due to a very small wobble, a little bit of controller drift. Not to the extent that the games were unplayable by any means, but it certainly ruled headshots out and led to a more run and gun style of gaming, but it was still playable. The headphone quality, again, actually pretty good. I found the sonic experience of Half-Life Alyx actually every bit as good as the Valve Index, but it's not as comfortable as the Index is over-ear headphones, and the pressure after a while did lead to some discomfort. I do have to say there is an extremely high-pitched fan, a very small fan inside the headset that is there, I guess, to keep the panels cool. Generally in-game I couldn't hear it, but as I was going into menus and transitioning between games, it was quite audible and a little annoying, but a minor aggravation. Now, what's interesting about this headset is it is modular. So you buy the Vive Cosmos, the standard kit with inside-out tracking, but you can also buy a Cosmos Elite or a separate faceplate that you can swap out, which allows you to make use of the Steam VR Lighthouse tracking, which will give you sub-millimeter pinpoint accurate tracking. This really does make, if you're an existing Vive customer, if you've got the Lighthouse 1.0 on ones, this does make a very legitimate upgrade path for you. And whilst this headset is great for sim-based experience, with the release of the Reverb G2, it's an interesting position for the Cosmos to find itself in. Overall, this isn't as comfortable or frankly as good as the Index. It is a capable headset, however. The modular system is without a doubt unique, and as I say, if you're an existing HTC Vive owner, this is a legitimate upgrade path with the Elite version of this headset, which you can buy on its own. It's a great bump in resolution and image quality, and this headset could also be good for those that live in territories where the Index is not available. For anyone else, I would recommend finding the extra cash for the Valve Index, and if you're a simmer, if you've got the PC horsepower to drive it, the Reverb G2 is probably your best bet. So this, I think, really exemplifies what damage a very rocky launch can do. This is a perfectly capable headset, and in some categories and on some features was frankly trading blows with the Valve Index. So lesson learnt there, HTC. Don't rush your product out. And prioritize comfort a little bit more than perhaps you have. So there we go, guys. That is the Vive Cosmos, a good headset, but likely with better alternatives available. As always, I hope you're really well wherever in the world you are. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next one.